Some foods just seem saddled with a bad reputation or are ripe for ridicule. One of the most prominent of these is tofu. I can hear your verbal jabs now. Tofu is bland, it's boring, it's soggy, and only hippies and vegans eat it. As for the first three of those assumptions, I say not if you cook it with a little inspiration. And as for the last one, well, I propose that anybody can enjoy tofu, so let's not have our brains stuck in the 1970s. After all, tofu is packed with protein, is low in fat, gluten-free, and super cheap. And yes, while tofu is vegan, even a carnivore can enjoy it. That's because tofu is a culinary superhero masquerading as a humble bit player. Tofu, perhaps more than any other food, has the ability to morph into whatever you want. Really, few foods are as versatile as tofu. From having a starring role in stir-fries and shakes, to baking it, frying it, and using it in soups and salads, tofu is a culinary chameleon that's packed with nutrients. Okay, I admit, it's easy to look at this blob of white stuff and think, well, it's super bland. But today I'm going to show you how to turn this boring block into something truly tasty and amazing. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook, and you can definitely be a better cook with tofu. Yes, you really can. Now, if you've been cooking with tofu for a while, you already know its secret ability to be all things to all people. But a lot of people don't, and that's what we're going to get into today. It's true, for a lot of people, tofu, well, it's just a source of ridicule. It doesn't get any respect, like that old comedian used to say. By the way, if you know who I'm talking about, drop a note in the comments below. Now, I'll be the first to admit, even for me, for a long time, tofu kind of simply existed on the periphery. I would use it once in a while, maybe when I was sick and I just wanted something nutritious and easy to digest, or if I wanted to bulk up some miso soup, I would buy some. But for the most part, I just kind of passed by it on store shelves and didn't think much of it. But then I started to kind of do a deep dive into this stuff. I started using it more and more, and oh my gosh, I mean, this stuff really is a culinary chameleon. Now, if you're new to tofu, let's start with the basics. You're probably thinking, what is this stuff? And you can kind of think of it like cheese, because like cheese, tofu is made from milk. But it's not made from dairy milk, it's made from soy milk. So soy milk, it's curdled and you get these globs which eventually form tofu. But unlike dairy milk, well, it doesn't come from an animal. So it doesn't have the cholesterol, and of course it is vegan. But like cheese, well, it's got a lot of protein and it's available in a wide range. You can have something as soft as custard, or you can have something really dense and hard. Tofu is just super versatile that way. And of course, like cheese, tofu is hardly new. Humans have been making and eating this stuff for thousands of years. It's thought to have originated in China and then spread around the world from there. These days, tofu is widely available and is most often found refrigerated in plastic cartons such as this. Although you can buy shelf-stable tofu packed in cardboard. And another great thing about tofu is it's really inexpensive. So unlike meat and poultry that continue to rise in price, well, you can get these for $2 for a box, just like I did yesterday. That's $2 for a pound of tofu, a really good value. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are several different types of tofu you can find in stores, and most of the variation has to do with their texture. There's two primary types of tofu. One is called block tofu, and that's the more popular type. And there's also another called silken tofu. And silken tofu is made from uncurdled soy milk, and it has a creamier, yes, silken type of texture. Both types come in a range of firmness levels, everything from soft, so soft that it's almost like custard, to extra firm. And there's really no wrong answer here. You simply buy the type you need based on what you plan to cook with it. Whatever kind you buy, tofu is most often packed in water, which you need to drain before using. Now, I should note that there are some specialty types of tofu that you can buy, including marinated tofu and even smoked tofu. But most of the tofu you buy is going to be plain like this, and this is where it faces its biggest criticisms of being bland. Because tofu, admittedly, well, it, doesn't taste like much. It's certainly not assertive just out of the box. But like any good superhero, this is where tofu takes a perceived weakness and turns it into a strength. You see, tofu can take on just about any flavor you want depending on how you cook it or what recipe you use it in. From spicy kung pao tofu to blending it into a chocolate shake, tofu will take whatever role you give it. In return, tofu adds its own inherent nutty and satisfying flavor, as well as a hearty texture and all its nutritional goodness. Chicken has nothing on this stuff, and I certainly wouldn't want to blend chicken. And for all the love that cottage cheese has been getting lately, well, tofu can do what that does and even better. And it's not just in flavor that tofu can be a culinary shapeshifter, or should I say taste shifter. Thanks to its range of textures, well, it can be everything from custard-like to extra crisp. For a lot of applications, you'll want tofu that's on the firmer side. So the first thing you'll do after opening the package is drain the water. From there, the most common strategy is to press the tofu to get the water out. Now, not only is tofu packed in water, but it also has sizable water content. So you'll want to squeeze out as much of the water as you can. There are several ways to do this, one being to freeze it first and then thaw it. But most people simply grab their box of tofu from their refrigerator, drain, and press. This simply involves setting the tofu between two plates, sheet pans, or boards, and squeezing out the water by placing a heavy object on the top plate or board. 10 minutes is about the minimum to get results, or 24 hours to get the most. If you really get into tofu, I recommend using a tofu press like this one from ToFuture. It does all the work for you and drains easily. Now, how do you cook with tofu? Well, numerous are the ways. But here are several recipes that really highlight its breadth and adaptability to just about anything. Here's how we're going to turn this humble block of tofu into something extraordinary. Arguably the easiest way to use tofu is as is. While you can cook tofu, you don't need to. You can just eat it right out of the box. After draining the tofu, simply cut it into whatever sizes or pieces that you like. So, for example, to use tofu in a soup or salad, simply cut it into small dices. And go on, try one. While tofu isn't inherently super flavorful, it does have a satisfying nuttiness to it. From here, you can use the tofu pieces just as you would, well, let's say some chicken breast. I like to put mine in a salad and give it a good toss. Perhaps the easiest way to cook tofu is to bake it as a block. Even better, marinate the block before baking. So for example, you could marinate it in some soyaki sauce, or what I'm doing here with a barbecue sauce. Just slather it on. Now simply put the block of tofu on a tray and put it into a preheated oven at 400 degrees. We'll cook this for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the outside is nice and deeply browned. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Doesn't this look absolutely delicious? From here, I like to cut the baked tofu into thick slabs and then garnish with sesame seeds and green onions. I'm telling you, this is so good that even your carnivore friends can enjoy it. Another great use for tofu is to saute or stir fry it. And one of my favorite ways to do this is by making kung pao tofu. First, coat your tofu chunks in cornstarch. This will help it brown. Now heat some oil in a skillet and dump the tofu in. We are going to saute it on all sides until it's nice and brown. This is the type of color we're looking for, and again, tofu does a great job of mimicking boneless, skinless chicken breast here. Set the tofu aside and then saute up some celery, bell pepper, and one of my favorite things, dried chili de arbol. This packs the heat. Return the tofu to the skillet, add the sauce, and you have some amazing kung pao tofu. Garnish with peanuts and extra chives, and this really packs a punch. Kung pao tofu is one of my favorite uses for tofu. Finally, you could use tofu just as you would for yogurt. It's great in smoothies and shakes. Here I'm using the soft silken type. Put everything in a blender and you know what to do next. Here I'm whirring up a recipe from Mark Bittman, his Mexican chocolate shake as seen in the New York Times. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. So there you go. There are several great uses for tofu. I hope you try some of them and let me know what you think. But I bet a few of you have been cooking with tofu for a long time and have some great ideas and suggestions on how to use it. How do you? I would love to hear what you use tofu for in the comments below. Okay, before we get to trivia time, a little show and tell. And you might have noticed that I was using some new cookware cooking up that tofu, and well, this comes courtesy of Caraway. They sent me these to try out, this nice skillet and this griddle. And well, these really are something else. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a little ambivalent about non-stick cookware, but this is non-stick done right. This is actually made with ceramic. So there's no PTFE, there's no toxins, there's none of that junk that they put in other non-stick cookware, but this stuff works really well. You might have noticed when I was cooking that kung pao tofu, I mean, it just slid around and none of that sauce sticked. Same goes for the griddle. I've been making up grilled cheese sandwiches and eggs in this, and they just slide right out. So really good stuff. I was happy to check these out and review them. If you're interested in learning more about them yourself, I will put a link in the description below. Thanks to Caraway for letting me check out your pans. Really good to cook with, really easy to clean, and I think they look great too. I love all the different colors that you can get. Okay, trivia time. Last week I asked you to identify what this interesting culinary tool is, and several of you knew exactly what it is. It is a burger press for making burger patties. The idea is you put the ground meat in here and you press this down and it shapes it into patties. Honestly, I haven't tried it. I'm not so sure that I will, and I don't think I'll even be using it for tofu, but well, I bought this at the thrift store for $2.99 and I just couldn't resist. Congratulations to everybody who correctly identified this as a burger press. For this week's culinary trivia, we have something that looks like it just arrived from space. It actually came from the produce aisle, but boy, is this a weird looking one. What is this? If you know what this is, or if you have a guess, put it in the comments below, and I will of course let you know the correct answer in next week's episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.